"You can't sit here." That's what they told an 11-year-old black boy in first class. He wasn't loud. He wasn't wrong. He had a first-class ticket. But they saw his skin before they saw his seat. What they didn't know? That boy's father didn't just buy the ticket. He built the airline systems. And when he got the call, the flight stopped being about travel and started becoming a lesson in power, legacy, and justice. Seat 2A was pristine, leather polished, tray folded, and the kind of quiet you expect from first class. That's where Malik Johnson, age 11, sat, straight back, tie neatly knotted, polished shoes flat on the floor. He wasn't fidgeting, he wasn't scrolling, he was simply being. But apparently, being was the problem. From the front of Mesa Airlines Flight 227, Catherine Ward, lead flight attendant with 18 years under her belt and a mouth that didn't believe in second-guessing, stormed down the aisle. Her heels struck like judgment. Her words cut sharper. "Get out of that seat. You're making the other passengers uncomfortable." Her voice wasn't a request. It was a verdict. Malik turned, calm. "This is my seat." Catherine's smile was tight. "Sweetheart, this is first class. You must be lost." She never asked for a boarding pass, never checked the manifest. She just saw a black boy alone and made a decision. He didn't belong. Malik didn't argue. He reached inside his jacket and calmly produced the pass. "Seat 2A, paid, confirmed." She didn't even take it. Instead, she crossed her arms. "Policy says unaccompanied minors sit at the front. You'll need to move." Malik didn't flinch. "That's not what the VIP desk said. My father arranged it." Her lips thinned, her posture stiffened. She wasn't used to being corrected, especially not by a kid. And now the eyes of first class were watching. Mrs. Linda Perez, seat 2C, leaned over. "Why is he being asked to move? He's not doing anything wrong." Catherine ignored her. Instead, she tapped her headset. "I've got a situation. Unaccompanied minor, wrong seat. Possibly wrong section entirely." Minutes later, the gate agent, a young black woman named Tama Jones, stepped in. She saw Malik, recognized the name, and instantly knew this wasn't just a kid in a suit. She scanned the pass. Confirmed. Seat 2A, priority boarding, executive clearance on file. Catherine stiffened. "Still, unaccompanied minors don't belong in." Tama cut her off. "It's already approved, ma'am." Before Catherine could respond, another voice interrupted. Jason Miller, first officer, stepped in, blue tie tight, face unreadable. "Let's just move him to the back. No need for a scene before takeoff." Tama protested. "Sir, he's cleared." Jason didn't care. Move him anyway, and that was it. No apology, no pause. Malik stood up slowly, dignified, backpack over his shoulder, boarding pass still in hand. He turned to Catherine and said softly, "I hope you realize what you just did." Then he walked to the back of the plane. They placed him near the emergency exit, a seat not meant for children. He said nothing. He just sat, back straight, hands folded, just like before. But this time, he pulled out his phone, pressed one button, and said 5 words. "Dad, it's happening again." And just like that, this wasn't a misunderstanding anymore. It was a reckoning waiting to land. The engines hadn't started yet, but something else had. A shift in energy. Quiet, cold, unforgiving. Malik sat in the back, alone. Same posture, same calm. But inside, his thoughts burned. This wasn't new. He had felt this before. Judged without question. Moved without cause. But now he wasn't alone. At gate 32, the terminal glass slid open. In walked David Johnson. No briefcase, no entourage, just a tailored charcoal suit and an executive badge clipped to his blazer. Mesa Airlines didn't just know his name. He was the reason their systems didn't crash mid-air. He wasn't here as a CEO. He was here as a father. Tama Jones met him at the gate. "Mr. Johnson, your son's boarding pass was valid. We scanned it. He was in 2A. I don't know why they moved him." David's eyes didn't waver. "You did your job. Thank you." He walked straight onto the jet bridge. 2 Mesa executives chased behind him. "Sir, we're handling the situation." "You weren't there. David said. Now you will be. The cabin went silent when he stepped inside. Catherine froze mid-pour. Jason lowered his head like a guilty schoolboy. David didn't shout. He raised a hand, pulled out a laminated ID. David Johnson, Mesa Airlines executive partner. I need to see the crew, now. The captain stepped out. Sir, I wasn't informed. I'm not here for apologies. I'm here for my son. And for the truth. From the back of the plane, Malik stood. No drama, no noise. He walked the aisle like it was a red carpet, graceful, steady, and stopped right in front of his father. David turned to the flight crew. You removed a child from a paid, pre-cleared seat. Not because of policy, because of perception. That's not a mistake. That's misconduct. Jason stepped forward. Sir, it wasn't personal. David didn't blink. That's the problem. You made it personal the second you saw his skin. And don't confuse intent with impact. The cabin rippled, not with sound, but realization. Linda Perez stood from 2C. I watched it happen. He showed the ticket. She ignored it. George Whitmore, a white businessman in 1A, added, I judged him too, silently, and I was wrong. David nodded, then looked back at Catherine and Jason. You have two options. Apologize, reinstate him, or explain to the media why your flight crew let bias override protocol. Nobody spoke, because they all knew. Tamika, David called, please escort Malik back to seat 2A. She smiled and stepped forward. But Malik didn't need help. He walked the aisle again, eyes forward, quiet strength pulsing in every step. He reclaimed his seat, not just for himself, but for every child ever told, you don't belong. David turned to the crew one last time. This plane doesn't fly until the wrong people step off it. No arguments, no excuses. Catherine and Jason were removed from the manifest, replaced, quietly. No applause followed, just silence, the kind that falls when truth lands harder than a jet on tarmac. As the plane finally lifted into the sky, Malik looked out the window, not as a victim, but as a new standard. If this story hit you in the chest, don't just feel it, share it. Share it for every kid told to sit down. Share it for every parent who taught their child to rise with grace. Like, comment, and subscribe if you believe quiet dignity is louder than discrimination. This isn't just a story, it's a statement.